Yay! Bird of the day screen. Yeah. Today's bird, kind of an interesting bird. Although you may not think it's interesting. To you, might be a mundane bird. Because I can guarantee you, no matter who you are, no matter where you live, you have encountered this bird. Everybody's encountered this bird. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's the most populous bird in the world. Most popular bird in the world? What could it be? What could it be? I already have a thought. What could it be? Bird that I've seen? Bird that I've encountered? Bird that I've eaten? Oh, if you're not a vegetarian or a vegan, yeah, you've eaten this bird. Oh yeah. What could I be talking about? Oh, you probably already figured it out. That's right. Today's bird of the day is the chicken. Chicken! Who's a chicken? I ain't a chicken, you're a chicken. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Today we're talking about the chicken. Oh, well, Corvus, why did you pick such a common bird? Well, let me tell you. Oh yeah, I speak chicken. No, good. Sometimes I caw in the morning when I wake up. No, you get a little. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, you may think chicken's a little mundane, but I found out some interesting stuff about them. So we get into it. So, average about 27 inches. So yeah, kind of a bigger size of the bird. 5.7 pound average. Yeah. They usually live 5 to 10 years, although the oldest recorded chicken ever was 16 years old. So yeah, decent lifespans. And one thing I mentioned earlier is that with the exception, of course, of Antarctica, they live on every continent and in pretty much every country. They are ubiquitous, to say the least. There's 60 different breeds of chicken, so they're all, they're the same species, but, a lot of different breeds. That's usually going to be differentiated, a little bit by size, coloration, stuff like that. Yeah, a lot of different ones, kind of like dogs. Way more than 60 breeds of dogs, but yeah. I mean, really just can't get into the ubiquity of these things. So many of them. So yeah, the Galliforms, Phascidae, and Gallus domesticus. If it's wild, doesn't have the domesticus tag on there, but the overwhelming majority of them are domesticated, so they get the domesticus on there. Yeah, domesticated chickens. So yeah, like I've mentioned several times before already, they are the most populous bird in the world. And that's because humans raised them to eat them. Not just the chickens themselves, but also their eggs. You knew that already? Yeah. But it is because of this being domesticated for, I mean, they're very easy to raise and get a lot of food out of them. A single chicken, a good healthy producing chicken is going to lay an egg a day. So you got a bunch of chickens, get yourself a lot of eggs, and that's one of the most efficient ways to get a source of protein. And then of course, chicken meat, delicious. I like myself a chicken nugget. Sometimes I'll sit on the roof of a McDonald's, wait for some child to order chicken nugget kids meal, and he's holding it up in his hand or looking away for a second. I'll swoop down and I'll steal that nugget. Nom, 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 nom. Yeah, tasty nugget of chicken. Yeah. Before you go calling me a cannibal, a crow eating chicken is no worse than a human eating a pig. Okay? Thief? Yeah, but I'm stealing from humans, so it's okay. Don't steal from other birds, but steal from human is okay, right? Right? Yeah. Yeah. Number of chickens on the planet? Over 24 billion. 24 billion. It means there's 3 times as many chickens as there are humans. Oh yeah, we're learning about cocks and hens, and yeah, it's great. Yeah, learning about the cocks, and yeah, that's one thing that I don't have on this page, but that is actually one of the earliest uses of chickens that they've found, going back into BC. Well, I mean, okay, so my second point there is that, they've found evidence of chickens being domesticated in both Egypt and India as early as 15th century BC. And even around that time frame, not just used for food, cockfighting was a thing. They have used roosters fighting each other as entertainment for literally thousands of years. Now, I don't condone the practice. I think it's rightfully illegal these days. It's very cruel to the chickens, but it is something that has existed for a very long time. It's one of the oldest kind of forms of entertainment. It's a bit barbaric, don't like it, but I do think it's interesting that it dates back literally over 3,000 years. So, yeah. Hey, Fading Reminder, thanks for stopping in again. Always good to see you. Yeah. And, well, one of the things about chickens is there's a lot about chickens that people kind of have some misconceptions on. I think most of their intelligence and their bravery. It's pretty common that, if someone is acting cowardly, someone calls them a chicken. Yeah, what are you, chicken? I can tell you, having spent some time hanging out in barnyards, cowardly is not the way I would describe some chickens. Some roosters are very protective of it, and if they think they can get away with it, they will come after you. I have seen many a chicken chase after a small child. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. They'll run after things and try and scare stuff that are, magnitudes larger than they are. Cowards? No. Someone sells you a chicken, you say, yeah, I'm brave. Brave like a chicken. But yeah, their intelligence, the thing is like, oh, they just got these little pea-brained heads. Little small brains. They're dumb. No, they're not. Hey, Grandpa. Hey. Always good to see you as well. Yay! Chicken deserve to be chased by all types of bird. Yeah. Except geese. And blue jays. And the ibis. And, I don't think a penguin would chase. Anyway. Oh, yeah, another misconception about them. But we'll get to that last. But yeah, in terms of their intelligence, yeah, they're actually kind of smart. As far as bird goes. Not as smart as corvids, obviously. But, they have good memory. Like, they'll remember human beings. They say that a chicken can remember up to, 100 different people and be able to recognize them and know them. And they've shown pattern-seeking memory, stuff like that. And their communication, they've got pretty complex vocal communications. And, the ornithologists that study them, pretty sure that, their clucks have meaning. You can't even remember 100 different people? Yeah. See? Chickens are smarter than clockwork. Yeah. And another thing that you hear about them is that, chickens are flightless birds. Well, they're not technically flightless birds. They can fly. They are really, really, really bad at flying. But, so, in terms of their flight, they're not going to be, doing sustained flight over long distances. But they will use their wings to do a short little flight to get up to higher locations. So, they like to hop up into trees. So, you'll see a chicken, and it'll hop up and flap its wings, and it'll go up and be able to get on branches that are higher up than it would be able to just jump. So that is, by the very barest definition, it is flight. So they're about, I don't know if they're the worst flyer that can technically fly, but they can technically fly. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I really haven't gone over how pretty they can be. Yeah, there's some breeds of chicken that are specifically bred for their colors, and oh boy, some of those roosters, they're Their feathers are bright, vibrant, iridescent, some absolutely stunning colors in them. Although for the most part, roosters they do use their feathers a bit for their mating displays, but their mating displays are really more about attitude and presentation, and a lot of dancing and showing off. So yeah, they'll like scratch the ground and puff up and strut around. They're very big on being, you know, showing off their toughness and their movement skills more than just showing off how pretty their feathers are. But yeah, some of them, oh, very beautiful feathers. So thank you for that comment, because that's definitely thing I wanted to get into. And one last little story I wanted to tell you today is about a chicken who was very famous. Was toured around the United States, and there was something very special about this chicken. Wasn't necessarily a talent of his, but something very unusual. And, well, Mike was his name, but they didn't present him as just Mike. Now, he was Mike the Headless Chicken. Yeah, that's right, old Mike. Old Mike was going to be dinner one night. And his owner picked him up, took him over to the old chopping block, got a nice sharp axe, and missed. And lopped off Mike's head, but at such an angle that although the eyes and beak and, all that other stuff were gone, but his brainstem stayed intact. Just a little bit of his brain and that stem were still intact. And so, after that swing and the head went off, Mike got up, started walking around. Just walking around like nothing had happened. And, oftentimes you hear, running around with the chicken with his head's cut off. And yeah, a lot of times that there will be some movement after the head is severed, as the nerves just kind of don't know what to do. That usually only lasts for about 30 seconds. That's what the farmer was kind of expecting to happen. Then Mike kept walking around. 10 minutes later, still walking around. 30 minutes later, still walking around. Next day, still walking around. So they knew they had something special on their hands. So they decided, you know what? He survived that axe swing. Well, it's really hard to know. I'm sure at first Mike was in pain. Yeah, it is a little bit tragic. But here's the thing. They fed him, watered him using eye droplets and ground up, they used ground up feed and stuff. And Mike lived for several years afterwards. And they took him around. And, despite not having a head, he was well cared for. I'd still really rather have my head. But yeah, Mike the Headless Chicken had his head chopped off and lived for several years. And his owners made a decent amount of money showing him off at sideshows. This was early 1900s, so this is, the time when, sideshows and stuff were at their peak for entertainment. So he was a pretty big draw. But unfortunately, Mike didn't die from old age. He died of drowning because he got out in the rain and the water went down his exposed air pipe and he drowned. Of all the ways for Headless Mike to go. Yeah. So, that's my story of Mike the Headless Chicken. I hope you liked it. Yeah, it's a little macabre, but, you like little dumb things. Yeah. Birds are dope. Humans are the worst. I agree. Okay. Oh, and then I guess the last little point on there, you may have heard of the thing called the pecking order. That is actually a thing that is found in both wild and domestic chickens, is that the group of chickens will kind of establish a hierarchy. And so, you'll have several males in the same group, but there will be the male on top and male below him and And even sometimes ladies get higher up in the order, but not as often because the males are larger than them and usually a lot more stronger and aggressive. But yeah, there are hierarchies that they have found, and kind of determines who gets best shot at food, who gets best shot at mating, all those kind of things. So yeah, they are complex social creatures, and I think deserve a little bit more respect than to just be the largest source of meat food in the world. So, treat your chickens nice. They deserve good lives. Support free range, stuff like that. Yeah. Support your free range local farmer. You're gonna have chickens. Let them live a good life. That's what they deserve. So my thoughts? Well, I gotta respect the chicken. I like them. I think they're fascinating little animals. They'll mean and nasty sometimes, but hey, who isn't? Who isn't? So I'm gonna give them good ranks. Like B+ bird. Yeah, respect your chicken. Next time you see a chicken, give it a little hello from me. Say hello, Mr. Chicken or Mrs. Chicken. Little dinosaur, little descendants of dinosaurs. Gone over this before. Just because something is descended from something doesn't mean that's that thing. Now, if that's the case, then we're all fish. Because we all descend from fish if we go far enough back. Yes, chickens are... Yeah, you're your own grandpa. Yeah, chickens are some of the most dinosaur-like birds out there. The way that their legs are structured, their upright position, they have a lot in common with dinosaurs. But oh boy, there's another bird that's on my list to do. That's a dinosaur bird. Oh, I think you may know what I'm talking about. I ain't gonna say it, but I bet you can guess. Big dino bird. Terrifying. Maybe the most terrifying bird there is. Ooh, yeah. We'll do that one soon. But if remember, as always, there's a bird you like, throw out a suggestion. Throw out a suggestion. I love suggestions. Get out. Get out. Actually, please don't get out. Please don't get out. Please stay. No, this is a bird that is still alive today. Anyway, we are going to call this bird of the day done.